Hey everyone, welcome. In this video, we shall create a website using HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. And to follow along properly, you need to have basic knowledge in HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. And if you have no experience at all with these three technologies, the link to those courses are in the description. Now, let's head over to building our website. Our website is going to look like this. The header section, the banner page, and this section. To start creating our website, we need to create a folder. I have created a folder on my desktop called Migrant. Right here in my folder, I have my index.html file, which will take all my HTML codes. And I have my img subfolder, where I have stored all my images, which will be needed for this project. And also, I have my CSS folder, which has my index.css file. So let's open up this folder in our VS Code. Come over to VS Code, head over to File, select Open Folder, and here we are. Our folder is open. In our index.html file here, we have nothing. In our index.css file, we have nothing. So we'll start from scratch. The first thing to do is to generate our boilerplate. But since we are creating a Bootstrap website, we don't have to go through the stress of generating a boilerplate for ourselves. So to do this, let's head over to the website, the Bootstrap website, and head over to documentation. Then let's copy the starter template and let's paste that in our index.html file. Let's get rid of this comment. That and that. So let's fix the space right there. And let's also fix the space right here. So the next thing we shall do is change the title of our website from Hello World to Migrant Solutions. Okay, the title of our website has been changed. Now, before we proceed, let's talk about two meta tags that we should always put in our head tag. And the first meta tag will be the meta tag for our keywords, and the second meta tag will be the tag for our description. So let's just head over here. Let's say meta, set the name to description. Let's set the content. So we are a software company in Africa. So that's the description of our website. Now let's fix the second meta tag, which is for the keywords. This tag is actually going to help your site rank properly when a search is initiated. So let's do that and say name, keywords. Let's set the content to web design. Separate them with the comma sign. So in your content attributes, you separate your keywords with the comma sign. Software, engineering, tech. You can have as many keywords as you want to have. But I'll be stopping here. Before we move further, let's change the font family on our website. But before doing that, let's see what we have currently as our font family. Let's head over to the folder and let's view this in the browser. Hello World. This is our font family currently. So let's get rid of this comment also. And to change our font family, I shall be using the Google Fonts API. So to do that, let's come over here to Google Fonts, fonts.google.com, and I'll be using Roboto. Select that, copy this link, and paste that beneath this. Now let's go back, copy this, copy this, head over to our CSS file and paste that in a body selector and save that. Now let's head back to our browser to see if our font family has been changed. Let's refresh. As you can see, nothing has been changed. Our font family has not been changed, and that is because we have not linked our HTML file with our CSS file. And to do that, you come here in the head tag, you say link, and let's go to our CSS folder and our CSS file. Let's set a style attribute to text/CSS, and let's save that. Let's refresh our page to see what we have. As you can see, the font family changed. Oh, sorry about that. This is supposed to be type, not style. Now let's move over to the body tag and start creating our website. Let's get rid of this. In the body tag, the first section we shall be creating is the header section, and the header section has the logo and the navigation links. So to do that, say section, set an ID property to nav section, and to mention the value of my ID property is not a default value. You can call it whatever you want to call it. What we need in our section tag will be found on Bootstrap. So let's head over to Bootstrap and let's say nav. Select any of the nav bars you are comfortable with, and I'll be going with this. I'll paste that here, and let's fix this. Let's save this. Let's head over to our browser, refresh, and see what we have. So over here in our browser, let's refresh. As you can see, we have our nav bar, which is supposed to be our logo, and we have the nav links here. The next thing to do is to shift the whole nav links here to the right side of the page. And to do that, let's come here in the div tag that wraps the whole nav links. So let's come here and let's use a Bootstrap class and say margin left LG auto. Let's refresh to see what we have, and that's perfect. So let's fix our logo. It's not supposed to be navbar. Let's create an img tag there with a source property set to final migrant logo.png. Let's save that. Let's head back to our browser and refresh to see what we have. As you can see, the logo is looking way too big. So let's head back to our VS Code to fix that. Using the Inline Css Attributes, let's set the height of our image to 40 pixels, and let's set the width of our image to 40 pixels. Then let's set the margin left property on our image to, let's say, 80 or 90 pixels will be better. Let's save that. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. Looking better. The next thing to do in our header section will be to change the background color to white. So to change the background color to white, currently our header section is set to a background color of BG light. Here it's a Bootstrap class, so let's get rid of that. Let's save that. Using the inline CSS method, we say style background color. Let's set that to white. Let's save that. Head over to our browser, refresh, and see what we have. This looks better. Now let's edit the values of our nav links. To do that, let's come over here. First of all, let's delete this. The first nav link and the last one. So here, let's fix the space in there. Let's copy and paste this. So let's say home. Let's look up what we have. Home, about, services, courses, and portfolio. About, services, courses, portfolio, and contact. This is perfect. We have our nav links. We have the right values currently in our nav links. So let's head back to the browser and see what we have. To complete our design of the header section, we need to add this shadow effect here to make our design complete. And to do that, you don't need to use the traditional CSS. Head over to Bootstrap and just type in shadow here. And we shall be using the regular shadow, and this is the class for the regular shadow here. Just copy that without the quotation marks. Come over here to this tag and paste that there. Always remember, don't paste it in the section tag. Paste it in the nav tag here. Now let's save that. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. As you can see, our header section has been created. So let's move over to the next section, which is the banner section. And to do that, I would come under the header section, create another section with an ID set to banner section. And before I proceed, there is something I need to mention. When creating sections in HTML or Bootstrap, it's always good to set each section to a defined height. So to do that, let's set the height of our section using the Inline Css Attributes. Let's say heights, set that to 80 VH. When setting the height of a section, I like using VH because it's more responsive than using PX. So 80 VH, VH stands for vertical height. Let's save that. In our banner section, we would create a div with a class of container, create another div. Why am I making that mistake? With a class set to row, create another div or class sets the number of columns we want for this side. With this, it means we want 6 columns out of the 12 columns in a row. Like I said in my Bootstrap tutorial, each row is made up of 12 columns in Bootstrap. In the first 6 columns, let's see what we have. In the first 6 columns, we have this: experience, technology, better, and all of this here. So let's head back to our VS Code and do that. We shall be using a h1 heading tag, and we shall say experience, technology, better, and that's okay. Now let's go beneath that. Let's go beneath the h1 tag. Let's set a paragraph tag and say web applications. So mobile applications. Let's come down and say network solutions. Let's set a break tag. Say data analysis. Say digital marketing. Let's say capacity building. Okay, let's save this. So let's head over to our browser to see what we have. To do that, let's come here and let's refresh our page. This is what we have. Now, to make it look like what we have here, let's use our CSS to make that look better. And to do that, let's head over to our VS Code. Before we do some CSS in our HTML file, let's set some global variables in our CSS. I come here, I set the font size to 14px, and I'll set the letter spacing to 2px, and that's better. So let's head back to our HTML file and use the Inline Css Attributes. So the first thing to style here will be our h1 heading tag. So let's set a style attribute to margin top, set that to 80 pixels. Let's save that. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. And that worked. So let's come over here. In our paragraph tag, let's set a style attribute with a margin top of 50 pixels. Line height of 30 pixels. And let's save that. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. This looks better. Now coming over here, as you can see, we have a button that has a value of learn more here. So to do that, we come over to our HTML file beneath the p tag, still in this column tag. So let's come right here and let's set a button to learn more. Let's save that. Head back to our browser to see what we have. It says learn more, but we need to add some CSS to make it look like this. And to make it look like that, let's head over to our HTML file. Let's set some style attributes to border, none, border radius. Let's set that to 10 pixels. Let's set the width of our button to 130 pixels. Let's set the height of our button to 40 pixels. Let's set the background color to CC3300. Let's save that. Let's head over to our browser to see what we have. Not looking bad for now. So all we have to do now is to change the text color to white and also set our button to be a hyperlink. So when someone clicks on it, it takes them somewhere. And to do that, we use the anchor tags over here. Before the learn more text, let's set an anchor tag. Set it to nothing for now. And let's set the style with properties of text decoration set to none and color set to white. So that's all we need to style the anchor tags. So let's take this learn more, cut the learn more, and place it in between the anchor tags. That is also in between the button tags. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. Everything's looking perfect now. I want us to take note of something. The text files here are appearing milder than the text files we have here. The black here is harsher than the black we have here. So to make the black here look mild, let's head over to our VS Code and let's come over here in our call sm6 div tag. Let's set a bootstrap class called text muted. It's going to mute the text files and they will become mild. Let's go back to our browser, refresh our page, and see the difference. This looks mild and this looks better. So the next thing in our banner section will be to place this image right here. And to place the image, let's come over here outside this div tag that has the first 6 columns. Let's create the second 6 columns. Let's say call sm6, and in between our div tags, let's create an img file with a source attribute to first.png. First.png is the name of my image file. So let me show you what I'm talking about. In my image folder, we have this image here. It's called first.png. So I'm setting my source attribute in my image tag to that file. Let's save that. Let's head over to our browser to see what we have. So let's refresh our page. And our image file has been placed in our website. So let's head over to the website we are building from and see what we have. The image file here is smaller than the image file here. So let's make this image file the same size as this. To do that, let's head over to our image tag. Let's set a style attribute with a height of 400 pixels and a width property of 450 pixels. Let's save that. Let's head over to our browser and see what we have. Looking better now. So let's move over to the last section we shall be creating using Bootstrap, HTML, and CSS. To do that, let's come beneath this section and create a section with with an ID attribute set to creative, and to mention the creative value here is custom, so you can give it any name you wish to. Let's set the height of this section using the style attributes. Let's say height, and let's give it 100 vertical height. That's all for now. Let's close that. And in our creative section, we would have a div with a class of container. Let's define a row here, and let's define some columns here. So on the left side, we shall be taking 6 columns for now. And in the first 6 columns, we shall set an img tag with a source attribute set to third.png. Let's save that and let's see what we have. Going back to our browser, let's refresh the page. Let's see what we have. Okay, looking very big though. Using the style attribute in our image tag, let's set the height of our image to 450 pixels. And let's set the width of our image to 450 pixels with a margin top property set to 60 pixels. Let's save that. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. Looking better. Now let's create the content for the other 6 columns by the right side of our website. And to do that, in our row class, but outside the first 6 columns, let's define the second set of 6 columns. Let's say call sm6. Let's set a heading tag to great user experience. Is our core. Let's save this. Go back to our browser to see what we have. Let's refresh the page and see what we have. We have this here. Great user experience is our core. Currently, the text is not muted, so let's mute our text. To do that, let's come over here and say text muted. Refresh the page to see what we have again. Looking better. Now let's head over to our website where we are building from to see what we have there. It says great user experience is our core. Our core is on a new line, but over here it's just core that starts a new line. So to put our core on a new line, let's use the break tags. And the way we use the break tags, we shall use the break tags before our core. We shall just say br. Let's save that. Go back to our browser to see what we have. As you can see, our core is now on a new line. Let's head back. So using the style attribute in our heading tag, let's set the margin top to 60 pixels to create some space between the end of the banner section and the start of the section. So let's reload and see. Now we have some space here, although it's not evident because both of them have white background colors. Beneath the heading tag, let's set a paragraph tag. Say our project managers and developers includes us a great team for creative and positive working environment. Great user experience. This is important to us. Anything else? Save that. Now let's head back to our browser to see what we have. Let's set some space between this heading tag and our paragraph tags here. To do that, using the inline CSS method in our paragraph tag, we say style and set the margin top to 40px. Let's save that. Go back to our browser, refresh our page to see what we have. Not looking bad at all. So currently we have this done, we have this done. So let's go back to our VS Code and let's create a button tag in this column. Beneath the paragraph tag, we say button, and we say contact us. Let's save that. To style our button tag and make it look better, we use the style attributes to say border, none, border radius, set 10 pixels, with a margin top of 35 pixels. Let's set the width of our button to 130 pixels, and let's set the height of our button to 40 pixels with a background color set to this. Let's save that. Let's head over to our browser to see what we have currently. Let's refresh our page. And that's all we have for now. So the next thing to do, we have to change the color of the text here to white, and we have to make our button a hyperlink. And to do that, we shall be using the anchor tags in HTML. Heading back to our VS Code. Before the contact us text here, we set an anchor tag with a href set to nothing for now, and a style attribute with a text decoration property set to none, and a color property set to white. And to complete this, and let's close our anchor tags. Then let's cut this here, the contact us, place it in between the anchor tags that is in between the button tags. Let's save that. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. That's looking better. And we just successfully created the desktop version of our website. Now, to go ahead and see if this website is responsive, right click on the website, click on inspect, come over here to this icon and ensure this icon is highlighted blue or whatever color it highlights on your own machine. Click on that icon to toggle the device. Then you come over here. As you can see, this is the mobile display of our website. Not looking good at all. The images are clustered, the text are aligned wrongly, and it's not actually looking good. So this brings us to using Bootstrap for making a mobile responsive website. So let's head back to VS Code and start creating the mobile version of each section in our website. To do that, I shall be using the display property in Bootstrap. The display property in Bootstrap makes it possible for me to choose what I want to display when it's in a mobile screen or when it's in a laptop screen. To do that, we'll head over to Bootstrap, to the website. Over there, search for display, and you can see all of the classes that we have here. If you want to hide any element on all screen sizes, you use the hidden on all. If you want to hide any element on mobile screen size, you use the hidden only on XS. XS is for the mobile screens. If you want to hide anything on the small screens like the tablets and the rest of them, use the SM. If you want to hide anything on the medium screens, which some laptops fall under, use the MD. The large screens, the extra large screens, or if you want to make them visible on all, you use this class here. So for now, let's create a mobile nav section for our mobile display. First of all, I'll come here. I don't want this nav section to appear on a mobile display. So to do that, I'll just come here. I'll select this class that says hidden only on XS, which is a mobile screen size. I'll select this class. Take note, you shouldn't paste this class with the dot signs here. The dot signs here signifies that these are actually classes. You don't have to paste them with a dot sign in your HTML file. So let's head over to our HTML file, and this is the nav section. Let's create a class here and paste that. Let's get rid of this dot sign. So let's save that. Let's head over to our mobile display and see what we have. Currently, we have the navigation section being displayed. Let's refresh our page to see what we have. Our navigation section is no more displayed. So let's create a mobile navigation section for our website. To do that, I'll come beneath the existing section and I'll write a comment here. Let's say mobile navigation section for our website. Over here, I would copy everything here, paste and edit. So I'd paste that. I'd get rid of this whole link here. I'll get rid of this also. All I just want for my mobile display is the logo of my website. So to do that, I'll go over to Bootstrap, select visible only on XS, which is the mobile screen size. Copy that, come over here, delete this, and paste this display class. Save that, and that's all. Now let's head over to my browser, refresh our page to see what we have. As you can see, we have only our logo appearing there, but our logo is not aligned properly. So I have to go back to our VS Code and look at the styling properties of our logo, and let's get rid of this margin left. Let's go back to our browser. Let's refresh our page to see what we have. This looks better. With that, I have created a navigation bar for my mobile display. The next section to create a mobile display for will be the banner section. And to do that, I'd come right beneath the existing banner section, say mobile display for banner section. Let's save that. So let's copy everything we have here, this section. Let's paste it here so we can edit. So to make the display of our banner section better, I think we should get rid of the image, which is this. Let's come back to our browser. Let's refresh to see what we have. You see, there is no effect here, and that's because we have not used the display classes. First things first, we need to hide the desktop version from displaying when it's a mobile screen size. To do that, let's come to Bootstrap, select this class, hidden only on XS. Let's come over to our VS Code, and in the banner section here, which is for the desktop version, let's set a display class to this here. Let's save that. Go back to our browser, refresh to see what we have. As you can see, currently we have no image file because in the mobile display we took out the image. So to ensure this only appears when it's in the mobile screen size, let's come over to our Bootstrap and let's select visible only on XS, which is a mobile screen size. Let's head over to the mobile section and let's set a class here to that, to this. Now let's head back to our browser to see what we have. We have virtually the same thing. Our text and our button is not aligned properly. So to do that, in the mobile banner section, we'll have to tweak our CSS. First things first, let's tweak the CSS for the heading tag, and we'll take that to, let's say, 50px, and let's set a Bootstrap class of text center for this. Let's go back to our browser to see what we have. That looks better. Now let's head over to the paragraph tag. Let's set a Bootstrap class also, text center. Let's refresh. That looks better still. And for our button tag, let's set a margin left property. To 110 pixels. Let's refresh our page to see what we have. That looks better also. For now, we have created a mobile display for the header section, and we have created a mobile display for the banner section. So let's create a mobile display for this section, which is the final section in our website. To do that, we'll come beneath the creative section. Let's create a mobile version for that section. Let's go beneath this, and okay, we'd have to copy this whole section so we can edit for our mobile version. That we just paste that. The first thing to do, let's head over to Bootstrap and let's hide the desktop version from a mobile screen. So let's say hidden only on XS. Copy that. Head over to the desktop version of this section. Set a display class of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of the dot notation. For the mobile section, let's head over to Bootstrap. Visible only on XS. Let's copy that and let's set our mobile section to that. Get rid of the dot sign. Save that. Looking at our website here, we need to give each item here 100% space for the mobile screens. So to do that, in our mobile section, we would set the height of our image to 250 pixels and the width of our image to 250 pixels. Now let's save that. Go back to our browser to see what we have. So the next thing to do, coming back to our VS Code, let's set a margin left property, not a margin top property. A margin left property to 50 pixels. Let's save that. Go back to our browser to see what we have. And that looks better. Okay, now we have to give like I said, we have to give every section here 100% space when it's in the mobile display mode. And to do that, I'll cut this out and place it in another row and set this to call SM12. Let's come outside this row here. Let's create a new row. Set the class to row and let's paste our file. So we have to change this to call SM12 because we want this to take the whole space. So let's save that. Let's head back to our browser to see what we have. Looking better. The next thing to do is to align every text file here to the center. To do that, let's come over here and say text center. Save that. Let's refresh our page to see. Every text file is aligned to the center currently. So with this, we have successfully created a mobile version of our website that doesn't look clumsy and doesn't look bad. But this is a mobile version that looks better than the previous mobile version we had, where every image was collapsing with every image. And you can toggle these across various screen sizes. We can say iPhone 6, 7, 8. This is how it's going to look on an iPhone 6, an iPhone 7, and an iPhone 8. You can toggle this across various screen sizes to see how it's going to look. So this is how to use Bootstrap in making a mobile responsive website. Let's close this and head back to our desktop version. You'd see the difference. So to do that, close this and you can see we are back to our desktop version with this image present and everything present. So it's looking different. So that's how to create a mobile friendly website using HTML, CSS and Bootstrap. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share.